Just making a little follow-on video for that message I sent earlier. Uh, I was thinking about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he's basically he knows what's about to happen. He's going to be betrayed, arrested, indicted, uh, given an unfair trial, mocked, spit on, beaten, and then crucified and murdered. And he's going to die. He knows he's going to die. And he certainly is feeling grief, anxiety, stress, a great deal of stress over that, over facing his death, over everything he's about to go through. And there's so much stress in his body that he begins to sweat blood out of his skin. Great drops, the Bible says, of blood. And I was just thinking about that. Have you ever been mocked? I mean, when I was in middle school, I remember my sister was starting to drive, and her friend came over in the morning before school, and they were getting ready for tacky day in high school, where you dress crazy and everything. And I remember it was just a normal day for me, and I got dressed, got ready for school, came out of my room, and my sister's friend goes, is it tacky day for you too? Like, I was just dressed normal, and so, but she was mocking me. I mean, and have you ever just been yourself and been mocked for it? And, or given an unfair trial, or unfair judgment, where you're not treated fairly, so somebody's promoted over you because they're buddies or with a boss, or your parents favor one child over the other, over you for no reason, or whatever. Your friends, they go hang out with other people even though you're the one who's been there for them. It's not fair. You're not being judged fairly, and that's what happened to him. And so he knows all this, but what's happening to him is that he's feeling this anxiety over obedience. It's not that he doesn't certainly want to die in his human nature. Nobody wants to die. But the fact that the world is fallen and sinful means that, of course, number one, we die because we're separated from God. But that obedience is hard because the world is sinful. See, because everyone else was sinful and hated him because he told the truth, it was hard for him to be obedient. But it's not meant to be that way. God created man to be obedient, and it should never have been. It wouldn't have been hard in the original state of man to be obedient. It was just we were created in communion with God. So, but it's the sin that causes obedience to be hard. So it's the same in your life. Christ was subjecting his human will to God's will, to his own divine will, and that's what obedience is. It's like, give up your will to God's will. And I think we can expect to experience anxiety, grief. I think we can expect to be treated unfairly, to be betrayed, to be spat on, to be manipulated, to be taken advantage of, to be unfairly judged, to be mocked. And the reason I quoted the Anima Christi is because that the verse in there is, "A blood of Christ inebriate me." And inebriate means to fill, saturate. So you can think when people are inebriated, their blood is full of alcohol, right? Well, we want to be washed with the blood and inebriated, filled with the blood, so to speak. And I think about Christ, his blood, and he's obviously filled with it, but it's just percolating out of his own skin. And it's because of his anxiety over the cost of obedience. And, we want the blood, right? But do we want that life? It seems like no, we don't. But I think we should at least expect that kind of life, that kind of anxiety. And but the more that we all do this thing, behave this way, the more that we heal the world. And that's what Christ shows us. So I just want to encourage you to keep loving each other and forgiving and being merciful, and even when you're mocked or you're spat on or mistreated. Jesus never at any point during that, and he could have, he didn't say, you know what, you people don't deserve this. What am I even doing here? What is up? What am I doing here? This is pointless. You people never, you're never gonna learn. And he could have done that, but he did not. And he persevered in love under the anxiety and the abuse of obedience. So I think you can look forward to that. It's kind of sad, but I think I think it's our responsibility just to heal the world that way with Christ in us. And the more we do it, the more that we'll be at peace with each other, I think.